Howdy, howdy, howdy. Another game development video update for you, vlog, blog, whatever you want to call it. Oh, pardon me. Ugh. So, we're going to show off some of the characters, some of the combat systems. Mostly we're going to be showcasing one character, Shibata, who is based on a pro wrestler from New Japan Pro Wrestling. If you haven't watched the first video, there is a bit of a story behind why I've put him in the game. It's a bit of a tribute to him. The short version, he injured, and his career might be over. Go, look it up online, or you can watch the first video and get the whole story there. And I spent all last night, about 4 or 5 hours, working on some skills. Obviously, the skills aren't done. I just wanted to get the bare bones, and they're going to require tweaking to get them to look as good as I want them to. But I got the basic, a good basic set of skills for him put together. So we've got Jimmy, who's a slayer. He uses whips and you dual wield, so you could use 2 whips if you wanted to. So, or 2 of the other weapons. There's different weapons you can choose from. So, this one, in the last game, I used the row formations plug-in, but only as kind of an aesthetic. This one, it's actually going to come into play. So you can see here, he is using a basic melee attack. He doesn't have any spells or anything on him yet. This is early days for the game. But you can see you can only attack characters on the front row with melee. Alright, and you can also see I'm also using the level plugin. So we've got a level 1 flappy thing and Bruce's, which are from the last game. This is just a placeholder for testing skills and stuff to see how they look. You can also see over here that we're going to have the party gauge plug-in. It's going to come into play. Characters are going to have skills, not necessarily super strong skills. Some of them will be powerful, some of them it's going to be things like group heals that don't cost anything except this, that sort of stuff. And then the enemies will also have skills that, I like to draw on the same skills for enemies and the characters. That keeps it more balanced. And also helps create the feel that you're in a world where people are drawing on the same sources of knowledge and spells and all that good shit. So we've got the level plug-in in place. We've got a level 2 Bruce, a level 4 Bruce, a level 1 Flappy thing. So let's go ahead and attack Bruce. Mikhail. Motorficker Mikhail, also a melee character. Well, you can spec him out as a melee character or a spellcaster. It just depends on how you want to roll with it. He's, I think he has the strongest magic attack of anyone in the game, of any of your characters, but he can only use combat spells, so some pluses and minuses for each character. I've given you options on several of the characters. I'll show you that in future videos, obviously. So, let's go ahead and attack the flappy thing. And here is Shibata, and I don't have any actual costs on these yet, because this is just testing at this point. So we've got dropkick, vicious assault, suplex, head punch, PK, ultimate PK, penalty kick, forearm, double head punch, 1-2 combo, 3-hit combo, 4-hit combo, killer combo, cyclone combo, ultimate cyclone combo, and go to sleep. So let's just start with a suplex, and this, it doesn't look quite right yet, but you'll get the idea of what I'm going for. We're just going to kind of play this. Now, this is Lionhearted, who is loosely based, obviously, on Lionheart, a Total War gamer on YouTube that I enjoy watching. You can see he's got one of his skills available right here, which is War, which is a party gauge skill. And you can see the description up there. It calls War upon the enemy, giving 1 extra action and potentially a second. So, instead of items, you got munchies down here. I haven't changed any of that stuff yet, but I will eventually. And he's got a Scorcha attack, which is a ranged attack, so he can attack anybody. Or he should be able to. Still working on some of the bugs. Some things don't particularly want to cooperate. Obviously, I've changed something somewhere that's preventing that from working properly. So you should be able to hit anybody with this, but anyway, bugs are bugs. You have to deal with them all the way through playtesting. I playtest as I go. You can see that this is an area of effect attack. It is basically shooting an explosive device. So we can hit both of these Bruces, and you can see the little circle down there that kind of sort of not really shows you who gets hit, but the flashing on the characters shows you who can get hit, so we can attack these guys. And lag is going to be a pain in the ass here, and we've already killed them. I need to make the guys a bit tougher, just... Yeah, I still need to change animations and stuff. So you didn't even really get to see that because of the lag messing with the animation effects. So let's kind of try that again. Let's just guard with these guys and see if we can go with the Vicious Assault. And it just punches the ever-loving crap out of the thing. Okay, so now we can guard, melee. We can go with the suplex, guard. See, I need to work on the timing and height and everything about that. The suplex is supposed to be kind of a hit. You know, in actuality, a suplex is a throw, so I need to work on trying to figure out the right animation for the character to get it to maybe look like he's throwing him up in the air. But the idea behind the suplex is that, you know, it'll do the animation for the character, or it'll be maybe a hit if I can't get an animation that looks right, and it'll throw them up in the air, and then they'll smash back down. So... Or if I just can't get it to look right, I'll change it into something like Vicious Uppercut or something like that. Head Punch is pretty basic. Gets around behind him and punches him in the back of the head. Really shouldn't be showing up as a skill just for that. Alright, now the PK. Hopefully it'll show this. And again, I need to work on the positioning of the character, but you saw what happened. He punches him in the back of the head and then jumps forward and kicks him in the face. Oh. And the ultimate PK is similar, but different. As you saw there, you have to defeat the first row before you can attack anybody behind them. It's 2 punches, then the kick. Alright, so gotta level up there. I'll go ahead and pause it and bring it up again so we can look at some more of his skills. Alrighty. Just brought it back up. We can look at some more. Forearm is basically just a straight strike, but we're gonna have to work on that. They shouldn't be doing the special thing just for their basic attacks. As you can see, their magic can hit anybody from any row. Whereas, I don't think I said it before, if you're on one of... There's 3 rows. 1, 2, and 3. And then one... They're on the first row, and I think he's on the 3rd or 2nd row. I think he's on the 3rd row. If you're on the 2nd or 3rd row, you can't use melee attacks. You'll only be able to use ranged attacks. And there's penalties for being on those rows in terms of accuracy and whatnot, but it shields you, and the same goes for the enemies. If they're on a further back row, they can't be attacked by melee, but they can be hit by magic, and once I get all the settings and everything sorted out properly, you'll be able to hit them with ranged attacks as well. Let's hit this Bruce with a double head punch. Still not sure why that's not working again. Like I said, I must have changed something that messed it up. The combos, you don't really need to see all of them. They're just kind of a progression. So I'll just do the killer combo, which shows off the whole sequence that you'll get as a progression with all of them. Basically, you just jump back and forth, punching the crap out of them. Uh-oh, he done got frozen. The Cyclone combo is also about the same thing. You know, you just rush around beating the crap out of them, so let's do Go to Sleep. And that didn't look quite right, so like I said, I'm going to have to get some of the settings adjusted. And he just got frozen. That's a bit of a problem. No spells, he can only attack. He can war. But the idea behind Go to Sleep, in real life, it's a wrestling move, pro wrestling move, often used in Japan, sometimes by people in the United States, but it's very simple, but it's one of those ones that its effectiveness lies in its simplicity. The person using the move has their opponent up on their shoulder, kind of flips them, or throws them up over their head, and as they're falling down, they knee them either in the head or in the gut. And again, it's one of those ones that it's super simple, but looks absolutely devastatingly brutal, which is what a good pro wrestling finisher should look like. So when that move on here, an attack is complete, basically, you kind of saw it there. It's just the timing is off, and the fact that this is an older computer and it lags when I'm trying to record and play at the same time. You didn't quite get the whole thing. He hits him once to throw him up in the air, and I'm going to have to adjust all the timing and all that on it, and then kind of jumps up as they're coming down, and I think it's the evade motion, because he kind of has his knee extended. I might have to work on that and see what one looks best. But, you know, the same basic thing. Knocks them up in the air and then kicks them or knees them as they're coming down. So that's basically the showcase right there. I can go ahead and show you like the Cyclone combo, the ultimate one. And he's going to be able to attack twice. Now I'm gonna have to probably, or not probably, I will be putting skill limits, because it's another plugin I have put in there just for this sort of stuff, to make it so you can't just chain endless war, so he's constantly getting more actions over and over again. There's going to be limits on how often you can use any of these skills. You're going to probably only be able to use them once per battle, each one. So, go ahead and end this. Hopefully. Alright, so that pretty much wraps it up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you like the look of the skills and at least where they're headed. Like I said, this is early days. I'm going to have to work on the timing and getting, you know, how everything works out and the motions and animations and get all that stuff set up properly. But I just wanted to kind of show off, you know, give you a taste of what his character's going to be, which is, you know, it's based on the real pro wrestler Shibata, and he's it's a bit weird. His nickname is the Wrestler, but he's a striker more than anything. I mean, he beats the crap out of people. And yes, again, we all know what pro wrestling is. It's theater meets sports. So if you have any stupid comments about pro wrestling, save them for somebody who gives a shit. But everybody else, you know, hopefully you know better than to make dumb comments like that. So, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.